back to Underrated Games. I am your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Allen Henry. Today, I would like to talk to you of another game that I think will be great for a live action adaptation. And it's a weird game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there's not much information regarding the game because the game is so old that I remember 25 years. 25 years. Damn, that's how old this game is. And I don't remember how I got it. I think my mom just randomly bought, some games, the thing that we would be interested in and liking. And I think the way I'm going to go about it is my experience with the game. Uh, I'm not going to explain much of the lore because there's not much information from what I found about the lore. But I'll do a big explanation about it. So it's set in the future where I think robots have pretty much taken over. And well, robots has taken over, but also it's more like uh it's kind of like the Condemned in the Hunger Games. It's where you have this colony would seek out people and recruit them and change their bodies as prisoners. I think they're prisoners. I think they would recruit prisoners on death row and then they would put them through a surgery to participate in these deadly games, these deadly gladiator-like games, and it's basically chronicling a character or one character you depending on which you select to survive. Hunger Games and Condemn and all that. The game is called Ball Breaker, but I think there's another name for it called MoHo. Why would you? No, no. But the game is called Ball Breaker. One of my favorite my favorite character I would play is the big blue guy. I think I forgot his name in the game. It's not a Smasher. I'm thinking of Fighting Force, but the big blue guy who doesn't have a lot of moves. In fact, a lot of these characters don't have a lot of moves. I know you pay like three guys and two girls, so there's not a big variety of characters to really pick. You play like for like at least between five characters, and the game is challenging a bit. Because in each level you go through a series of sequence of levels and you play like five matches. They're all routine. They're all like King of the Hill, like you're the last robot alive, racing, um, another survival battle, and then there is like tag or yeah, like tag or some sort of like game where you got to collect points, and you do that for each sequence of the level. But I think there's not much story into this game, but it's kind of basically a Hunger Games for robots. And I think this would be a fun little story to expand and explore into a Netflix series because I think there's so much potential for world building and possibly making it even to like a little comedy because the game it's kind of fun, but it does have like a darker vibe feel to it, and it's a E for everyone game. So anybody can get, so anybody can have fun with it, kids. Um, but the vibe that I'm getting from the game does feel a little dystopian and dark. So if they kind of want to do a kids version of it, then I would say it would need to be very light. It would need to be lighthearted. It would like lighthearted, but not too silly. Something I'm thinking back to like I don't know, like the Spectacular Spider-Man show that was from like 2007, like that kind of era where it's fun. You have these wacky characters that have a lot of personality, and maybe the story could be those five characters join forces and they're trying to fight their way out of the games. I think that probably be the more appeal look to this kind of game because it's a little silly if you really think about it. You have these gladiators literally rolling on bowling ball to fight. To fight. I mean, that's what you're really doing with this. It's kind of funny. Um, and then you keep punching and hitting your enemy until you have this little string of beam that is going from your lower waist to your body to the ball. And it starts from green from like being, uh, as full energy. And the more you keep beating your enemy, it will turn yellow, which are midway, and then it'll go red, which you're on life support. And then you completely beat the enemy, and then they end up dying. And then they literally fall off the ball because the ball, um, is damaged, and it's detached itself from the body, and then the ball would self-destruct. But there's not really like an ideal boss in the game. Um, if it were to go a little darker, but I still kind of think it should have that fun vibe to it. I'm thinking the Beast Wars and CGI animated cartoons. Something like that that has some sort of dark tone to it, but still has that fun vibe. You can't. I don't think you go any darker than this. With this kind of property, because otherwise I don't think you'll take. I think for this kind of property, because it is a little bit silly. Uh, you want to have fun with it, and I think with the story and concept like this, it should be kind of fun. And I remember I tried to get my brother to play this, and he hates this. He hates this shit. I keep trying to get him to play it. It's kind of funny. Like I have a great time with the game. I think it's a good concept. Um, especially for I don't know. You could do like maybe 2 or 3 seasons. Personally, I don't really see this series lasting that long, but I think the concept is so interesting. I think they could explore it more with story and world building, and maybe develop the characters a little bit more. Maybe have well, I think 5 seasons is a little too long. Um, maybe do like half and half. Focus on one part of the series on one character, and then focus the other one on another. And kind of just see how they deal with this whole world. Um, and see if they'll survive it. Because I personally think with concept like Ball Breaker, it's a great time. Plus, the music is killer, man. If anybody has access to the game, I would highly recommend just listening, or actually just go on YouTube. I would highly recommend listening to the soundtrack, because this soundtrack, I definitely would like to use this for a movie. The music is literally underrated. Like, it's probably one of the most underrated game soundtracks I've ever heard, and it's pretty awesome, pretty exciting. Ballbreaker, have you played this game? What you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think this would be a good game to adapt into a limited series? And let me know what is your favorite underrated video game on PlayStation 1.